What's up guys, Brennan here, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a piano tutorial for the song Nuvole Bianche by Ludovico Einaudi. Before we get started, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. It helps ensure that other people can find my videos and that you don't miss out on any of my future tutorials. So because I'm teaching the original song from start to finish, I am not going to be doing a preview for you because the arrangement is exactly the same as you would hear in the original. So feel free to pause the video before we get started and go ahead and go listen to that song. Okay, so we're gonna start first in the left hand and then the right hand comes in later. You're gonna have your pinky here on F, middle finger on G sharp, thumb on C. Then you keep these two in the middle, F and G sharp, and your pinky goes down to C sharp. And your thumb goes up to C sharp. So my third finger, my second finger switch to the same keys. First it's these two, next one. Okay, then we move our pinky to D sharp, middle finger on G sharp, and thumb on C, and we go. Then we just move our thumb down to B flat, G with the middle finger. So that whole phrase is then we repeat the first one again. Second one is the same. Now this one's a little bit different. So you move your pinky to D sharp, middle finger to G sharp, pointer finger to C, and this thumb stretches all the way up to D sharp this time. So before you were just playing these three, now you're adding in this D sharp. Okay, then lastly, you keep your pinky and thumb the same and you move your middle finger to G and your pointer finger to B flat, and the other two stay the same. So then it goes. So all together, that second part is same as last time, add in the thumb, move these two. All together, here we go. Next part. Then we get into the next section where we're playing both hands together. So I'm going to go over the left hand first and then we'll add in the right hand. So then your left hand moves down and you're going to be playing three, kind of like this three shape here, and moving to different chords. So chords when you play two or more keys at the same time, like that. So the first chord is pinky on F, middle finger on C, and thumb on F. So your thumb and pinky are going to be playing the same key, and this one in the middle. So then you move down to C sharp, G sharp, C sharp. Then we move up here to pinky on G sharp, pointer finger on D sharp, and thumb on G sharp. Okay, then lastly, we move down here to pinky on D sharp, pointer finger on B flat, and thumb on D sharp. So all together it's first one, these, G sharp, this one, and that repeats. Because you're playing a lot of black keys, this is going to take a little bit of practice, so feel free to pause the video. Okay, and then in the right hand, so it's going to be this rhythm's a little bit tricky. It's best to play with both hands together. So we start coming in on the B flat at the same time as we hit this. So it goes. Then we switch. Now, when we move to this, it changes in the right hand to C sharp and C. So it's, and then we go to, when we move to this one, we go D sharp. So that's D sharp, C, B flat, B flat. And then this part, D sharp, C sharp, C, B flat, D sharp. So all together this phrase is slower. Then it changes a little bit. It goes. And then instead of repeating it, we go. So that's G sharp, G, F. So it's. And then we go D sharp, C. So it's. And then we go. Again, you're just going to have to try and memorize this and learn it that way because it is a little bit tricky to just say each key on this one. I know when I usually teach, you try to say B flat, G sharp this way, but that way you won't get the rhythm of it. So it's best to just follow along here. So all together, this whole phrase, full speed is this. Okay, so now we're going to put both hands together here. So you're going to start at the same time. So you do it 2, right? And then when you move here, you do it 2 more times. Then when you move to the C sharp is when you move up to this one. And then when you hit the C is when you move to the last one. Then we start on the next part. Switch when you hit to the G. When you hit D sharp in the right hand, you move again. When you hit C, you move lastly again. So all together, I'm going to go through it nice and slow. Okay, now the next part, thankfully, the right hand is exactly the same. The left hand is the same chords, right? So we're playing the same keys, but instead of playing them all at once, like that, you're gonna do a little pattern. It's gonna be like this. So that's bottom, middle, top, middle, top, middle. And it starts over. So you do it 2 whole times. Then you move to the next chord, do the same thing. Next one. And last one. Then it starts over. timing is exactly the same. You're just adding in those little filler notes, if you will. Think of them as kind of like filling in the space. So we're gonna put both hands together here because you already kind of have the timing for this down. So here we go. So it's gonna be like this. When you're hitting the B flat, should be when you're hitting this bottom F. So it's then we switch. 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 Next part. Switch. Switch. I'm going to try and play it slowly just so you can follow along here. Okay, I know this is some pretty advanced stuff, so feel free to pause the video and make sure that you really practice that section before moving on to the next. Okay, so now we get into a little bit of a different part. So this section is going to go as follows. So in the right hand, so you go D flat, B flat, C, B flat, G sharp. So it's, and then you kind of play in the left hand, and then it goes a second time. And then it goes, so that's D sharp, B flat, C, B flat, G sharp, back to C. So the first time you're doing, play the left hand, second time, repeat. Third time's different. Last part. So it's a little bit different. So it's, so all together that's, repeat. Next part. And then that entire thing repeats. Okay. And then the left hand is kind of playing these beautiful little filler notes. And what this little trick is called an arpeggio. And what that means is a broken chord. So instead of playing it like this, right, you're breaking it up. You're playing only 3 keys, but you're just doing it up and down the piano. That's called an arpeggio. So the way that you do this is a chord you're playing, F, G sharp, and C. But you're just playing it in different orders. Right? So what you do is you have your pinky on F. I skip this middle one. That's just how he does it in the song. Play C, F. Then your hand can cross over to G sharp. And then up to C and F. So it's going to take a little bit of practice. And then you can even go back down if you wanted to. Up to you. Okay, so that's the first arpeggio that you do. The only three keys you're playing are F, C, and G sharp. And we kind of do this pattern where we skip the middle one and then we play it higher up later. So skip that middle one and cross over and play it. Okay, next one is the same. Now notice, that's what you were playing earlier. It's the same thing, you're just doing it in a different way. So then you know that the next one is this chord, right? So the keys for this one are going to be C sharp, F, and G sharp. But remember, we skipped that middle one. So we go C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, cross over to F, G sharp, C sharp. A little bit tricky, guys. So first one. Okay. Third one is going to be the same thing as earlier, right? But you're just separating it out. So it's going to be G sharp, D sharp, G sharp, cross over to C. And you kind of hold it. So it's just going to be, okay, that one's a little shorter. And then you move lastly to this one. So that's D sharp, B flat, D sharp, G. So all together, this is then that repeats. Feel free to pause the video and practice that so far. Okay, so now we're going to put both hands together on this part. So that comes in first, and then we start on the first chord in the left hand. So it's, so right after you play this last key is then when you start in the left hand. So it's boom. Then we do the right hand again. That's when we move to the next one. Then the right hand. And when we hit this C is when we come in on the third chord. And when you hit this B flat is when you do the last one. And then that whole thing repeats. So this next part, I'm going to go ahead and play a preview for you of this section. So this is a little bit tricky to get the hang of. I'm going to show you the right hand first. So you have your thumb on G sharp, jump up to F. Then you have your third finger on D sharp, C sharp, C. So it goes like on a roll. So it's down, up. And then you go C, B flat, G sharp, G sharp. So that's Then the next part is you do the roll again. So down. And then this part's a little bit different where it goes. So that's the roll. C, C, C sharp, C, B flat, G sharp. So all together that's second part. Okay, then we do a little roll here where it's B flat, G sharp, and G. So it's, so you go down, up. Okay, so then in the left hand, you're gonna be doing those same arpeggios, but you're playing them in a different order. So you're gonna start on actually the second arpeggio. Normally you would do this one and then move down here. But instead on this part, you actually start on the C sharp, G, C sharp, F. So you go. And then this one's kind of a little quick one. You go to the G sharp, D sharp, G sharp. So it goes, that's the little pattern. And then, so then you move down to the D sharp, B flat, D sharp. So all together it's, then back to this one, back to the first one. So that whole thing is repeating a second time. Okay, so now we're gonna put both hands together here. When I hit the F is when I come in the left hand. So it's, then this part, and when I hit the D sharp is when I move to this one. So that's really tricky. Switch. So all together again, it's, then back to the beginning. Second roll. And I kind of do this one an extra time. And then back to this one. So again, guys, it's a little bit tricky. I'm going to try and just explain it as best as I can here. So that's when you come in the first one. Next one. Back to the beginning. Switch to the beginning. So you're playing that beginning one again at the end. Okay. Without me talking, I'm going to run through it one more time. Then on this part, when you move to B flat, is when you play this last one. And I usually end on the B flat. All together, that whole section is. Next part. Okay, feel free to pause the video and practice that. Okay, so this next part in the right hand is, so that's B flat, C, B flat, G sharp, F. Then that repeats a third time. And then it goes, so that's B flat, C, B flat, G sharp, C. And then it goes, it's a little bit of a tricky pattern, so it's C, G sharp, B flat, C, then back down. So it's repeat, and then you go B flat again. So that's all together, that's a little bit tricky. Then it goes, so that's G sharp, B flat, G sharp, D sharp. So it's, and then you go G sharp, B flat, C, B flat, G sharp again. And then you're kind of alternating between the two. And you do this repeatedly. So you do this for, I think, about 8 times. So it's, okay, so let's practice that all together. So in the left hand, so how this is gonna go is you're gonna play the first 3, and then you're gonna kind of alternate between these 2. And then the second one you move to is just like earlier sections, but you don't alternate. So it's, and you kind of hold it out, but then the next one, you do the alternating thing. And then the last one, you don't alternate. So all together it's, let's put both hands together here. When I hit the F is when I come in the F in the left hand. So it's, when I move to the F again, for the third time, that's when I move down to the next one. Then the right hand, when I hit C, I move to the third one. When I move to B flat is when I play the last one. A little bit tricky, let's go over it again. I'm going to do it without talking. Okay, next part. We go, right? So on this next part, the left hand is slightly different, where each time now I'm alternating. Next one. Right, alternating between G sharp and C sharp, then the third one. just going back and forth, okay? Now when I move to the D sharp, I come in the left hand. Switch. 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 So all together without me talking, I'm going to play through that. Then this next part, the left hand stays the same, but there's a new right hand pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that now, and then we'll put both hands together. So then it moves to your middle finger on G sharp, G, F, and you go 2 times. And then you go C, and back up and down these 3. So it's 1, 2, C. Okay, then the pattern changes, and the only thing you're doing different is you're then playing C sharp. So then it's a little bit tricky. So first one. Second one. Okay, then you move up to your 4th finger on C, and you kind of do a similar pattern where you go C, B flat, G sharp. So then you go, and then you move up to D sharp. And you're just doing that once. Then it changes to B flat, G sharp, G, and it goes to D sharp. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky. First one, these 3, right? C. Next one. C sharp. Now we move up to the C pattern. To D sharp. Last one. D sharp, and then that entire thing repeats. And if you want, I like playing the C with my pinky, and I go, and I still have room to jump up to here. And then I do this one with these 3 fingers. But you can do whatever fingering feels best. I encourage you to pause the video and practice that section. Okay, so now the left hand is exactly the same as the last section that we just did. So now we just have to put both hands together here. It's going to be a little bit tricky because you're doing a lot in both hands. So here's how it's going to start at the same time. Now you switch. Basically, a good little rule of thumb here is you should not be playing any key by themselves. The right hand goes exactly with the left hand, so each key is playing each part at the same time. So I'll go over that again. Okay, when we get to these, that's when we switch. And remember, this is when we're going to move that pinky. Okay, next part, we move to C, remember? Okay, last one. that whole thing repeats. Switch. 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 So basically think of the left hand going back and forth as kind of like filler notes. So I'll just isolate the left hand again because I know this is a lot. Now remember, as long as you're playing those three keys, you can do back and forth between these two, these two, these two. Like, it doesn't matter at all. It's just that you're going back and forth between one of those three keys for each chord. If you have any questions on that, don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section below, because I know we're going over some pretty advanced stuff here. Then it immediately gets into a completely new part. So we're going to start with the right hand. So it's kind of like the build up of the song. What you're going to do is you're going to have your pinky up to G sharp and then down to G sharp here and C. So it's, and then you move your pinky down to G. Okay. Then you move to F and you move that pointer finger up to C sharp. So it's a little bit tricky. So remember, we have both G sharps here. G sharp, G, F, C sharp. And then we move to this new part where we have our third finger playing D sharp and we go. So now you're playing these three, D sharp, G sharp, and C sharp, and you do it twice. Then you move your pointer finger down to C and you do this twice. Then lastly, you keep your fourth finger the same and you move your thumb to G and your pointer finger to B flat, and you do that twice. So all together, okay, then the next part changes. So now the new part is G sharp, G sharp, G, G sharp, F, G sharp, F, G sharp. So it's, okay, and then the rest of it is the same as the last section. So all together it's, so then at this point, the whole thing repeats, both parts. So all together, it's going to go as follows. And the left hand is going to be that little pattern. And then the whole thing repeats. Okay, so we're going to put both hands together here. So again, the rule applies here where every time you're playing a key in the left hand, you should be playing a key at the same time in the right hand. So they go exactly together, both parts. So here we go. Starting together. Switch. Switch. And switch. Next part. Switch. switch, switch. And then as you know, you repeat that whole section. So all together, full speed, it would sound like this. Okay, well done for everybody who's made it this far. I know this is a very difficult song, but you guys requested it, so I wanted to definitely teach it as best as I can. So now at this point, the song kind of goes silent, and you repeat the very first section that you did. So this chord, right? This. Next part the same. Right, remember this? Next part is the exact same next section like in the intro. Next part's the exact same, so section 1, 2, and 3 are repeating. Then at this point, we repeat a section that we did earlier. Right, remember this? Where it's... And then we're doing the arpeggios with the alternating in the left hand. So that is exactly the same as last time. So it immediately goes into this. Just like last time. Right, and then the next section is exactly the same as we learned. Remember the big climax of the song? So then it is exactly the same. Repeats the same. Okay, so then the very last part before the end is in your right hand B flat, D sharp, F, G sharp. And then it goes, so you're kind of alternating between B flat and C. So it's, so think of it like, and then these two are coming in between each one. And then in the left hand, you're going to have F, C, F, and then C sharp, G sharp, C sharp. And you're gonna kind of alternate between the two. Switch. Switch. Alright guys, and there you have it from start to finish. That is the entire piano tutorial for Nuvole Bianche by Ludovico Einaudi. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It definitely took a lot of work to put this together for you all, so hopefully it was helpful. Definitely let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section below. And again, I do want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton here as a YouTube creator, and it also helps you guys out because then you don't miss out on any of my future content. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to create art, and I'll see you guys next time.